Welcome to another episode of the Kitchen Couch. I'm excited, as you guys can tell. I'm not in the studio that we normally shoot in. I'm actually at our special guest house, who I'll introduce shortly. Uh, if this is your first time, welcome. If you're returning, thank you for showing up. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share if this is something that resonates with you. Again, we're feeding the soul one conversation at a time here at the Kitchen Couch. And one of the things that I always want to be mindful of is where we are. We got the holidays coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and we are in a interesting place as a country. And so the government has opened back up, but again, SNAP benefits, most people may know this, some may not, but you have to reapply for your SNAP benefits. And so that's one of the mandates that came down, that people, if you were on SNAPs and government assistance before, you have to reapply for that. And if you're in Houston, we filmed this out of Houston. There's the Houston Food Bank. There is the Bread of Life. There's TargetHunger.com that you can go. So these are just several places that have food if you are experiencing any kind of issues or struggling. And then just remember, if you're not struggling, like, reach out, give back. And again, let's get started. I want to first introduce our special guest. I have a bio that I'd be remiss, because there are just so many things that Lloyd has done, who he is. And I put together a bio, and I hope this does you justice. So I'm going to read it. This is Lloyd Gite. He's a Houston native. He was born here, and his life had woven together the worlds of both broadcast, journalism, art, travel, entrepreneurship in a way that very few of us can match. Again, he's born and raised here. Mr. Guy, at an early age, developed an appreciation for beauty, aesthetics. He fondly remembers helping his mother pick paint colors for the home as a child. I used to do that as well. So funny. His lifelong fascination with Africa began young and would ultimately guide the arc of his career. 25 years, Mr. Gite was a television reporter and anchor, anchoring his reputation in Houston media. During his journalism career, he interviewed people ranging from Rosa Parks, Muhammad Ali, Oprah, Beyonce, just to name a few. He worked for KRI-TV in Houston and also served as a correspondent for BET, building a broad network and deep storytelling through experiences. His journalistic work also affords him the opportunity to travel to Africa more than 35 times. Is that still right?
That's still right.
Yeah. Journey that would profoundly change his life. On his first trip in 1976, so that's almost 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Gite fell in love not only with the people and the places, but the art, bringing back paintings, masks, and sculptures to Houston. What began as collecting art pieces for himself and friends soon evolved into something bigger. In 2002, which is almost 25 years ago, after years of collecting and building relationships in Africa with the artist, Mr. Gite opened the Gite Gallery, which is located in the Third Ward District, which is historically Black in Houston. The gallery, which feels more like a home than a white wall exhibition space, specializing in fine art, sculptures, mass paintings, primarily from West Africa and the Sub-Saharan Africa. His style is deeply personal. He hand selects pieces during his travels, especially from Ghana, Nigeria, African countries, and also Cuba, right? Am I missing it?
Correct.
Cuba. Today, the Gite Gallery is not just a business, it's a culture hub, a venue that hosts community events, and a bridge between African artists, audiences, and Houston. He has spoken about how the gallery is a way to reconnect people, especially in the Black community, with African heritage. Over the years, the gallery has also contributed philanthropically, donating his art to local institutions such as Emancipation Park and the Ensemble Theater, just to name a few. Without further ado,
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad you said yes to this. Thank you for saying yes. I know you talked most of your life being a journalist. So
That is true. I have talked much of my life being a journalist, but sometimes I just kind of chill out. I want to thank you for asking me to be on. You know the gallery. You're a good client of the gallery, and we appreciate the fact that you love art.
I do. Like I gained a greater appreciation when I met you and Trinae, and when I came by the gallery, when I first moved to Houston. this is how I was introduced to the gallery. One of my friends referred me there because we were looking for a space for the nonprofit
Hmm.
to host a fundraising event. And as soon as I walked in, it's beautiful. It is a house, but when you walk in, it is phenomenal. They transformed it into a very unique gallery that does give you a sense of community. It does give you a sense of family. It does give you a sense of blackness. Again, it's a very niche place. And if you are in Houston, if you're not in Houston, if you ever visit Houston, please
Is it
go.
the Gite Gallery?
You have to go by. Most people, one of the reasons also that I was just compelled to do this too, I just moved into a new place and Lloyd came in to help just kind of design my art wall. Very similar to what he has in his house, but nowhere near on the magnitude of how he has his house and the amount of art that is in this place. It's a magical place and it's beautiful and it's black art. This is from the diaspora. So um we will get into that a little bit later. He had an opportunity to taste. So today, the featured dish here was oyster mushrooms, and so I decided to batter them, fry them. They're more of a garlic, lemon, pepper.
Delicious, absolutely delicious. I've never had that before, but it was wonderful.
Good. Would you eat it again?
Yes, of course I would.
Do you cook?
I do. I have to feed myself.
Would you make that?
Watching you make it, I think that I can make it.
Yeah.
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 Yes, I can do it.
So it's a very easy recipe. You can just sit down on the side. Yeah.
At this point.
So you would make it if you had the opportunity.
Oh, of course I would make it if I had the opportunity. And I'm sure that I will have the opportunity because it tastes really good. And the little the crunchy flavor of it, and was really quite tasty.
Yeah. And I made them in my new pans rather.
Which are absolutely gorgeous, by the way. God, I guess I can say a pan looks gorgeous.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, they are.
Let me shout out the maker so I don't mess up the name of the pans that they came from the Nutcracker. I don't know if you guys have ever been to the
In
Nutcracker.
that cracker market.
Yeah.
Mhm. Very popular.
Once a year,
3 days,
and
5 days. Oh, okay.
5 days, and it's full of just Christmas, but also everything that you could imagine.
And like 300 vendors, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, you're right. They have everything there.
you can support every local vendors from all types of products. And so I had an opportunity to stop by the Diamond Shield. It's the cookware. It's a hybrid cookware. It is known for not sticking. And today it didn't, nothing stuck to the pan,
Nothing.
like nothing. This is my first time using it and trying it out, and it was phenomenal. And they're beautiful pots and pans. So shout out to Diamond Shield, Lloyd. And then the recipe, again, it's oyster mushrooms, and then we also did our play on vegan dirty rice, and then just some veggies as well. So I was trying to rush through this, so I undercooked my veggies, but they were still good.
But you did a good job. A great job.
Thank you. So just kind of talking. We won't go into too many details, but you have a long history, and you've done a lot of things, and you've seen a lot of people. Like, what sparked your just desire to go into journalism?
Well, that's a good question. I student teaching. I was going to North Texas State University out of Denton, Texas, and I was student teaching. I was student teaching Black history, and the school didn't necessarily appreciate what I was doing, and they tried to get rid of me. But the students loved me, and they staged a protest. So that protest led to somebody from KKDA radio hearing me, and they said, "You have a really nice voice. Would you like to try out for a radio show?" And I thought, yes, of course. It's the same station that Tom Joyner worked for.
Wow.
And that's how I got my start in radio. And then I transitioned into television. And I was in television for 25 years, did a lot of work for BTV here in Houston, spent 18 years here working. And that's how a lot of people know me. And when I first went to Africa, which was in 1976, I fell in love with the art. And I started bringing art back for myself. And people were like, "Oh, that's some great art. Can you bring me back some the next time you go?" So the next time I went, I brought back stuff for me and for other people. And that's really how the business started, believe it or not. People kept saying, "Bring us back some art, bring us back some art." And so I started financing my trips to Africa by bringing back art back and selling it. And that's how it started. So when I got ready to transition from my television career after 25 years, I knew what I was going to do. I was going to open a gallery, the Gite Gallery. And that's what I did. And I started selling out of my house first. And then 25 years ago, I got a gallery, which is where we still are. Building that was built in 1943. It's a house. And we turned the house into a gallery. And so that's what we're doing today, the Gite Gallery.
It's absolutely beautiful. And his home is a gallery inside out. If you m- have ever been here, you understand what I'm talking about. What I mean, it is art porn. Like if you if you love art, this is
This is the place to be.
yes, it's magnificent and it's beautiful and it's got really good energy. And I just love the fact too that this is all from the diaspora. This is all from places that our roots come from, our ancestors come from, and it's just immaculate. You can feel the energy in it. And it's also giving back to the communities, giving back to the culture, giving back to Africa, giving back to Cuba by supporting those artists and
Yeah.
their brand.
Yeah.
And
And that's important. I think I love art. I love art from the diaspora. I love art from, I try to get other people to understand that this is such a precious item and something they need in their homes to help beautify their homes, to make them feel, and it's a very safe space. And that every time I come home, and every time I go to the gallery, I feel like I'm in a safe space, a safe, positive space. And I'm surrounded by beautiful, beautiful art. And that's what I try to get other people to understand, that when you go home and you need a peaceful place, decorate with art.
yeah, I agree 100%. Like every time I walk in here, like it's just a peace, a peace and a tranquility that
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
existing here. And it has to do with the energy. Art
Yeah.
has energy, it carries energy. And these things are designed, these pieces are designed by people who love and with emotions and
And
with,
who look like us.
yeah. What were, I know that you talk about it a little bit. What drew you to art? Like, what was that? Like, were you as a child, that was something that
As a
you
child, I think we are born with certain things. And I think that as a child, I was born with beauty in my senses. And I think that's why I gravitated toward art. Not only art on the walls, but just art in general. I mean, like you said, um, when my mother got ready to paint the house, I chose the colors that we would paint the house in. And I just had a knack for it. It's a God given gift from the ancestors and from God. And I've always embodied that. I knew what spaces should look like and what spaces should feel like. Yeah, as a child, I just knew that there was beauty.
what was your first thoughts of Africa on your first trip? Like, how did you feel? Like, do you remember what you felt like when you
Oh,
did
oh yeah.
Africa?
Uh,
And where'd you go?
my first trip was to West Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, Cape Verde Islands. That was my first trip. And I felt like I had come home, to be quite honest.
Mm,
It was an emotional experience. I think I was only like 22, 23 when I first went. And I was just overwhelmed. I was absolutely, positively overwhelmed. I still remember the warmth of the weather on my body. And that's amazing. And then when I went to the slave castles, I mean, I had this emotional experience because so many millions of Black people went through that area when they put into slavery and brought here to the U.S. and to other places around the world. I just felt a sense of connection. Is what I felt
mhm.
more than anything else. A sense of connection.
That's how I visited the first time in May. And so we went to Senegal. And so when you talk about the slave castles, we went to
Hmm.
Goree Island in Senegal, which you went to.
Yeah,
Did you make that? Did you go to
I
Goree
haven't been to
Island?
Goree Island before.
You didn't go to Goree Island with us
Not
this trip, did you?
not this trip. I did.
So this was my first time, and everything that you said was so true about being on in the slave spaces where our
Hmm.
ancestors were taken from or they were killed. all the energy still exists
Yeah.
there. Like it's not gone because that it's where the ground is still there, where they exist in it. So it's a very spiritual thing, very deep, and it did make me connect to Africa. And I like you, I've always been connected to Africa.
Hmm.
Like I don't. This was my first trip my entire life, but I've always said I'm going to Africa. And every time I had planned an African trip, something came up.
But you went this time.
I did, and I'm going again in December.
Right. South Africa, right.
South Africa.
Which is
Yep.
one of my favorite places. I love Cape Town. I love Johannesburg. So you're going to have a good time.
I can't wait. So, what when like when you pick art and you are bringing art back and you're choosing art for yourself, like how does that process work for you?
It's easy for me. Art touches my soul. When I see art, I know what I'm going to buy. And it's just something that says, this is in your heart. You feel this piece, and I will buy that piece, and I will bring that piece back and sell it. And 9 times out of 10, what I have brought back, somebody here falls in love with it. So I think that my whatever it is that's in me that allows me to pick out art resonates with lots of people, because so far people have loved, and we just buy, and they want to buy it too.
Do you think our community appreciates art in a way that we should? Do you find that we see the value in art and things that we make that are made by us?
I think that people are learning. I think people are beginning to understand art and are beginning to appreciate art. But there are so many people who still don't get it, who just don't get it. That's why I like the gallery, because we expose people who are first time art buyers and first time art lovers. We expose them to what's out there.
Right.
And we've been very successful with that. We've turned people into some art snobs. They're like, oh, I gotta have this piece. I gotta have that
Yeah.
piece. I gotta have this piece and that piece. And these are people who probably in the past had prints, did not have original paintings like we sell. We only sell original art. And I call some of my clients, you're such an art snob, which is a good thing for me. I mean, I love the fact that they now have grown to appreciate art and what art, in fact, can do for your soul.
Yeah.
And that's important.
And it appreciates.
And it appreciates, yes. But people say to me, is this art going to appreciate? I'm like, I am only hopeful that it will, but I buy art not necessarily for it to appreciate. I buy it because it connects with my soul.
Sure.
I tell people you never know what's going to appreciate. You just don't know. When you buy a brand new car and you drive it off a parking lot, it depreciates immediately.
Absolutely.
And it's like, you don't know if art's going to appreciate. It's not going to depreciate, but you don't know if it's going to appreciate, because it depends on there are a lot of variables
Sure.
that go into what an artist does and if that will appreciate or not. You just don't know. But I buy pieces that I love. And I tell people, buy what you love. If it appreciates, more power to you. But buy what you love. And if you don't know what you love, ask somebody like me. I can help you bridge that gap.
Yeah, he's really good. Like he's got a really good eye and a good sense of design, aesthetic.
It's God-given.
Yeah, very good at it, and won't steer you wrong. Like with the pieces, with the mask, the statues, like he's very good at that and connecting it to you. But you're so right. Like there's certain artists that I automatically see their piece and I know who they are now,
Mm-hmm.
and I know what I connect to. Like I'm a pastel
Kind of abstract guy.
abstract,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but that's how my brain works too.
Mm-hmm.
How my brain works, but also that's how I appreciate art in a way. I also like heads too. I like the heads and faces, and
Yes.
just something about them. Also women, like I love Black women in my statues. Like I also feel that's a women are God in a way to me.
A lot of the art that comes out of Africa is done by men who appreciate women.
Mhm.
So a lot of pieces of women are all over the place. And that's because men paint them, and that's what they like to paint.
Yeah. How do you, like when you go to Africa and you're picking out art, do you develop a relationship with the artist, or is that are you just seeing pieces that you appreciate and
Both, both. A lot of the artists that we carry, I have developed personal relationships with them. I have gone to their homes and bought art, their studios and bought art, and we become friends. You got to realize some of these friendships are 20, 25 years old that I've been buying art from these particular artists. I mean, the Ghanaian artist, Kofi Agassor, Larry Otu, these people, I've been to their homes and they've entertained me while I'm buying art. So they become friends of mine and they know what I like. And they will reach out to me and say, okay, this is what I'm working on this particular piece. So yeah, many of them I have met, and there are those artists that I have not met yet that I have a great relationship with, but I have not physically met them and sat with them and talked with them. But they're still great artists. Like Nigeria has some absolutely incredible artists. A lot of them I have not met. Some of them I actually have, but they have absolutely incredible art coming out of Nigeria. I think that Nigeria is going to be the next international art market. I think that much of their art is. They're a little expensive, but the art is just incredible.
why do you think that is in that specific country?
I don't know. I have no idea as to why they have so many incredible artists. I mean, I just really don't know. The educational institutions teach them very well, and they have learned. But then again, so many of them have God-given gifts.
Sure.
These are gifts that they didn't learn in school.
Sure.
These are gifts that they have already, and they have perfected the gift of art. They're just incredible artists.
Do you remember your first piece that you bought in 1976?
Oh, no. No, 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 no. That's been such a long time ago. I don't remember because any one trip I can buy 20, 30, 50, 60 pieces. And of course, I don't remember my first piece.
What's your favorite piece?
I don't have a favorite piece. I have favorite artists,
Mm.
more than one, but I don't have a favorite piece. And then because art is such a part of my life, I can't have a favorite piece. Yeah. It's impossible to answer that question.
That's fair. And most of the artists that I have that are in my house, they're from Nigeria.
Yes.
The
Mhm.
ones that I've connected the most to, but you also have a bunch of not art from Nigeria.
Yes, I carry a lot of art from Nigeria again because their art is so wonderful. Primarily, we have art from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Cameroon, Togo, from Benin, Cape Town, and Johannesburg. Those are really the spots that are really hot spots when it comes to the incredible art that they have. So I really try to focus on those particular areas. Also, out of places like Ethiopia, they have wonderful artifacts, not necessarily paintings, but artifacts, Coptic crosses we have. There are other parts of Africa that I've gone to, like Kenya, that have incredible art. Little expensive again, but also incredible art. Spend some time in Angola. They have incredible art, and they're very expensive. Um, but yeah, the West Africa and South Africa, just incredible art coming out of those areas.
When you started the gallery, what were your initial thoughts behind it? Like starting it, you started it as a business. Did you know that it would be as successful as it is and around as long as it's been around?
No, I didn't really think about that for some strange reason. I opened the gallery thinking that we were going to sell art, and that's what we've been doing all this time. A lot of galleries have gone out of business. We have stayed in business, and I think that's a testament to our ability to find the right art and match it with the right clients. We're still in business, and knock on wood, hopefully we will remain in business until it's time for me to retire. Do something else. But as time goes on, we're still there. And these are difficult times. Art is a luxury. It's not something you have to have.
Mhm.
You got to have food and water and air.
Sure.
You don't have to have art. So these are really interesting times, especially with the government in Washington doing what they're doing and stripping people of jobs and incomes and all kinds of things. We have to buckle down and continue to sell art. in a time when it's difficult to do that, but we're still there. We're fighting. We fight every day because it is difficult.
You've seen a lot, like, you've been around and you've done a lot of things, like, you've had a life that people can only dream about as far as career, the places you've gone, and just what you do in life, and not saying any of that is easy and that there it didn't take work, time, energy, and then there's God is, your journey, part of your journey.
I've been blessed. I have seen a lot of things that a lot of people will never see. I've done a lot of things. I've interviewed some of the most influential people in the world, including several presidents, actors and actresses, athletes, you name it. Um, when you come into the gallery, you'll see pictures of me and Rosa Parks, me and Coretta Scott King, me and Muhammad Ali, me and Beyonce. You will see all kinds of photographs of people that I've actually interviewed and interacted with over the past 30 years, if not longer than that. Um, so I have been blessed, and I've traveled extensively throughout the world, and that is a blessing. And I've seen a lot of things, and that's a blessing as well.
What are you most proud of in your life, if you have to pick one thing?
And that's a difficult question because um, I try not to say what I'm most proud of because if I think about it, I could and should be proud of a lot of things that I've done, but I don't. I think that in order for me to be grounded, I can't let myself say, "Oh, you've done these marvelous things, and you're so this and you're so that." I just I don't go there.
Mhm.
I just I just do what I have to do. And that's what I've done throughout most of my life. And that's how I've achieved as much as I have. And I also don't think that I've achieved all that much. It's that's a difficult question.
Why do you think God put you on the planet?
I think God put me on the planet to touch other people that um, are untouchable. I think that I bring a certain level of joy into people's lives. If
Mhm.
it's through my art or my actions, my philanthropic actions, I think I think I touch people. I touch people in a way that's genuine, and that's important to me.
I love that. What does love mean to you?
Oh wow, wow, love, uh, the ability to give without conditions, the ability to touch and not scare, the ability to communicate and not be harmed. What love is. Yeah, I think yeah, that's pretty good.
Are those easy to do?
No, no.
Why?
I was quick to say that because you have to have people who are going to receive whatever it is you're trying to give. And not everybody is willing to do that. So you have to be careful because you don't want to get hurt. It's real easy to get hurt when people love hurting. So you got to be careful.
Do you think love is a risk that you is the risk of being hurt? Do you think that's a risk that you take, that there's gonna be some harm?
Uh, I don't like to think there's going to be harm, but of course there is going to be harm. But not in all situations. Not in all situations. Um, just be honest and upfront about who you are and what your expectations are.
Yeah. All those are hard things for humans. Like, I don't know if we're all taught that, and that's what we see. I think you have to learn it. It's a hard lesson that I think we're on the planet to understand who we are, but also love. Like, it's about everything on the planet, in my opinion. Like, if love was the core and the center of everything, we would have a lot of issues with a lot of things. And I think that's where I challenge myself to show up in that way, and I challenge myself to be that and to give that. And it's also one of the reasons why, like, this is one of the questions I ask everybody on the podcast, because I think it's important for just understanding people's definition and idea of it. what it means to them.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's no handbook on living life,
Mhm.
life 101 that our parents could pass down to us. That you got to work at it, as you were saying. You got to work at it, and sometimes you're successful. Most times, you're not successful, and that causes all kinds of problems.
Yeah. Have you ever want to just give up?
No, not in my adult life. I don't know what giving up looks like. There are times when things have gotten really difficult and really hard. Giving up has never been an option for me. I don't think in terms of giving up. I
Mm.
don't I don't know what that means. And I don't think that I want to know what that means, because if I started thinking about giving up, hmm, that would be a whole different ball game. And that's a part that I don't want to play at. Its the consequences could be dire. So no, I never think about giving up.
Why? Why do you think is that just part of who you are? Did you learn that? Were you taught
No,
that?
no, that's part of who I am. I think early on when I was like really young and I couldn't figure out life, like I'm talking about 15, 16, 17. Maybe I thought about giving up then. But as an adult, no, that's not an option. That's not what I come from. I saw my mother and how she struggled with 4 kids and no husband or no partner. Um, and she never gave up. So that was a lesson that I learned, that no matter what hard times come towards you, or what you have to deal with, you don't give up. You just plow through it and you keep on going. And that's something that I internalized. So no, I don't think about giving up. No, not at all.
Yeah.
Do you?
No, no. I mean, I have very similar thought process as you. Like, I have a lot of things that I think from a creative standpoint, like I'm a creator, I see things in art. That's how I see it. I also, I just feel connected to God in a
Hmm.
way that has never really allowed me to.
To give up, yeah,
No,
exactly.
like it's just not something that is in me. Like I don't,
No, well, I understand.
I
I
don't
understand clearly.
yeah, but I asked that question because life is hard, suffering's not equal, and we all process challenges differently.
Hmm.
And if people have thought about doing that, I understand why. Because there some people go through some very difficult times, just depending on who you are and how you respond to stuff.
And what you're made of.
Do you believe the world is better today for 2025?
Better than what?
It's a good question.
I think that we are seeing right now a rollback in what we had taken for granted, because of primarily African Americans have had to deal with rescinding of rights that we have, which we probably won't have much longer unless we stand up and fight. Um, I think things are getting worse, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people will agree with me that things are getting worse. I feel sorry for um, primarily African Americans and people of color who have to deal with the future of this country and things that are no longer there for us, like affirmative action, um, DEI. What are we going to do without those? Racism still exists,
Mhm.
and racism is killing us. And until we deal with that, we won't be able to breathe. It's just that tough, that rough. I am glad that I'm the age I am. So for the next 50 years, I won't have to deal with the bullshit that's going on in this country. And I'm thankful for that. I'll be gone. But think about the people who are still going to be here and what they're going to have to deal with, that our parents and our parents' parents had to deal with, almost like back in slavery time.
Mhm.
These white people are serious. They do not want us to progress, and they will do anything and everything they can to make sure that we don't. And that frightens me.
Yeah. I don't know if you've read the book. Are you a reader? Do you read a lot?
Yes.
Have you read Dying of Whiteness?
No, I'm not. I've not read Dying of Whiteness, but Have you?
Yes.
And what does it
I
talk
must say
about?
it talks about what you're talking about. I'll send it to you. Even it's a good listen to, but it's
Whiteness has to die. Is that
no, no, it's the opposite. It's a book that's written by an MD, my doctor,
uh-huh.
and what he did is like he followed a bunch of his patients over the years that he was practicing, and it not doesn't always
His
talk.
white patients.
Yes,
Okay.
and it doesn't just talk about their the medical piece of, but it also brings in politics and what he showed in this book is that even the sickest and the poorest white people,
Think that they're better than black people?
not just that, they will sacrifice their own health care, they will sacrifice their own benefits.
We're seeing that now.
Yes, and they will sacrifice their life to make sure that other people, other minorities, immigrants, and people that are non-white don't have access to things. And that's dying of whiteness is that like even if it came down to cancer treatment, if it came down to vaccinations, if it came down to food, and the majority of our country is still white.
Hmm.
Majority of our country is um, we're close to being most people living below the poverty line. I don't know if we're 50% yet, but they're right at the poverty line. Most of them are white. We're black people still not the majority. So most of the people on SNAP benefits that are on government assistance,
White people.
yes. And it still shows you how their whiteness is prioritized over their safety, over their health.
Everything.
But they don't understand, and he talked about this in the book too, is that societies that thrive take care of those at the bottom. Like it's a bottoms up approach in societies that are progressive, that have equity, that survive. In order to survive, the bottom has to be taken care of in order for society to do that. And I think that's what we're seeing.
I need to read that book.
I'll send it to you. Yeah,
Good.
it's a good read, but
Good.
it's great. So I agree with you on that. But I also think that we have to have hope and you have to continue to I believe that God and all the things that happen are purposeful, even the things that are not so good, and even the things that are hard, even the things that are bad. Erica's in a hard place right now.
Mhm. I'm like, God, you got to come on and do something quick.
I think things are changing. I think things are changing. It is moving faster than what we are probably used to because of technology, the news cycle. Like think about when you were in the news space and you were a journalist and doing interviews, how we didn't have near the media outlets that we have today.
No, we
And
didn't. We didn't. And I think that's part of the problem, especially with social media. That has changed the landscape of of us as a people. I'm not sure that it's all that good. The news cycle is 24/7, and sometimes you just get so tired of hearing all of this negative stuff. It's like, okay, give me a break. Yeah, things have really changed, and not necessarily again for the better. When I was a journalist, things were a lot more simple. That's when we had three major networks and we didn't have TikTok. We didn't have a lot of this stuff that we have now. So things have definitely changed. And again, not necessarily for the better.
when you think about being a journalist, like what does that mean to you? Like when we talk about a journalist, because that's a word today that people throw around, and we have so many people that the definition of that I feel like it's changed.
Yeah. I think when I was in the media, we were more like truth tellers and truth seekers. Today, journalism is not so much that. You have people who are journalists and people who are influencers and people who are just out there talking. So who do you believe and what do you believe? When I was in communications, it wasn't that difficult to tell the truth. Um, and to be very honest with that. But now you have these people like Charlie Kirk and these other people who people listen to who are not necessarily telling the truth. So it's a hard job. And then you have journalists who try to ask questions that are pertinent, and yet the president calls this woman Miss Piggy,
Hmm.
and I'm like, why did you ask such a dumb question? I mean, what's so dumb about a question that should be asked? But God, it's just it's incredible the kind of things that are going on now and what's being said in terms of journalism circles and what's the truth and what's not the truth. And it just boggles my mind. It really does. And I'm still a news junkie, so I watch the news quite a bit, uh, maybe too much. But some of that stuff out there, nothing but lies. I mean, I just saw it today on social media that Jesse Jackson had died, when in fact, that's not the case. He didn't die. So how did this stuff get into mainstream media? I mean, you got to ask yourself,
Hmm.
what's real these days? What's truthful and what's not truthful? And who are these journalists or so-called journalists who are trying to tell the truth?
Yeah, I think that is where we're lost at in society. Because I don't know if people really care about the truth. I think they just care about the drama. I think they care about the person that's delivering it more than they actually do the truth. It's more influencer driven.
Yeah.
It's more,
But give me the truth. I'll take the truth. Whatever that is, I'll take it.
well, yeah, that's what I want. But I think that today it doesn't matter to a lot of
It
people.
doesn't matter. You're right.
Do you believe we have, when I think about the civil rights movement and I think about the the fighters that we had, the actual leaders that we had in the community back then, like I struggle today.
We don't have them today.
Yeah, I struggle.
Where's our Martin Luther King?
Mm,
Where's our Malcolm X?
mm.
Where's our Rosa Parks, for that matter? We don't have them. If we do, I don't see them. I just don't see them. But our leadership base is not there. And we are hurrying for that. Nobody speaks for the African American community. That's a tragedy right there.
Yeah, I struggle with that big time because I think that today it is more political than actual like action movement.
Hmm.
Uh, like just on a mass level, like we're very divided because we don't actually have that, and I think it's hard to have that today. I think our leaders are like the influencers on social media.
Who are our leaders? That's the question right there.
Mm,
Somebody might say Hakeem Jeffries, but he's got so much baggage and so much other stuff. Where are our leaders?
yeah.
I can't find them.
And I think that is the challenge. Even our community, like that's the one thing that I love about the Gite Gallery because there's a community there,
Hmm.
and that you guys are intentional about. We have local businesses, businesses from out of town that come there to support the gallery, but also the gallery supports those businesses in the efforts, fundraising, opportunities, showcasing different artists. Like that to me is still a sense of community. You guys have every first Friday, they have first Fridays. If you want to come by, they have champagne. They have sometimes they have specials on the art that's on sale. So every first Friday, and it's a great networking
Yeah.
place.
But also we take philanthropy
Yeah.
seriously. We just recently did a food drive when we found out that people were not going to be getting their SNAP benefits. We did a food drive and collected 20 boxes of food for the Houston Food Bank and almost $2,000 in cash for the Houston Food Bank. We also did a bra, like bras that ladies
Yeah.
wear, for women who have cancer. And we had a collection and we got dozens and dozens of brand new bras and likely used bras for women who have breast cancer, who needed those particular things. So we want to do what's right for the community because we don't see a whole lot of people doing that. And we do that. And
Yeah.
that's very important.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons I love Houston because there are spaces where you can go have community, which
Hmm.
it still exists here. And you have Black men, women, just like Lloyd, that have businesses here, whether it's food, restaurant, that they still care about having something in the Black community that is for not just for the Black community, but it's a Black owned business. And so if others want to patronize it, they can. But it's also really good for us and our kids and our future to see Black business owners
Yeah,
and to see it in a different way.
it's critical. It's critical.
Lloyd has done a really good job, almost 25 years having an art gallery. And what amazes me too is that I forget how big Houston is, and because a lot of people don't know about the gallery. Like,
That's true.
they just still don't know about it. So every opportunity, this week alone, I have given 5 people the address to the gallery and the phone number, because
Thank you.
they've seen my place. They come in my place, they see my art.
And you have incredible art.
I do. It is amazing.
Mhm.
Lloyd always gets on me for for getting prints. He's like, "You need to stop buying prints." I was like,
Get some original art in that house.
so,
But you have some wonderful original art pieces already.
I do, but I'm like, Lloyd, I gotta survive out here. Like, I got.
I know.
But no, it's that's like my reward to myself. Like, I go buy a piece of art like whenever I want to reward myself, and I've started doing that more. I look at it as the same things he talked about. At first, I looked at it as an investment, and then I'm like, I love this. And people
Mhm.
like, would you
Mhm.
sell it? I'm like, no, like, because
Keep it.
yeah, because it feels, my place feels like me. It feels
It feels good to go home.
grounded. Yeah, it feels like home to me. And losing my mom, that was one of the hardest things for me. I felt like I lost my home,
Mm,
and that's sort of like kind of what I've been missing a lot. It's just having like home, a sense of home. So I always try to like give that kind of energy and set my place up in a way that still, it's still eclectic and artsy, but still feels like home. So I think that's super important for that. So you do a good job of that
thank you.
as well. So what would you say to someone that is not into art, that's not something that they're into, that they appreciate? Um, what would you say to them?
Give us a chance. If you're not into art and you want to get into art, that's a whole different ball game. Some people just think that art is just not for them. And if that's the case, so be it. But for those people who want to get into art, just give art a chance. Go to museums and look at the art there and see what you think. What resonates with you? What touches your soul? And then start your little journey on buying art. There's so many places out there that sell art. Educate yourself about those places. Educate yourself about art and educate yourself about fine art. What is real art? What is a print? What is a triplicate? I mean, there are lots of different kinds of art that you can learn about. Just learn. Give yourself an opportunity to do that and see how much of a better person art can make you. That's crucial.
Are you proud of your life?
That's again, that's one of those hard questions. Um, am I proud of my life? I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. But there's so much more to be done.
Hmm.
And there's so much living that I still need to do. I mean, I'm 74 years old, a young 74 years old. I just celebrated my 55th high school class reunion this past weekend.
Wow.
So, that was interesting. For sure, that was interesting. Um, but I guess I'm okay with my life.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah. What would you say to your 5-year-old self if you could go back?
Don't quit.
Mm.
That's have a worldly view. Sell yourself short in terms of what you can do and where you can go and how big you can get.
Mm.
Um, that's exactly what I would tell myself at 5 years old. And that's exactly what I have become. Because I've never seen myself as a little speck. I've always seen myself as much more than that.
Yeah.
I've always figured out that I could do some things, and I did, and I do. And that's what I would say.
That's beautiful. What do you want your legacy to be?
Hmm. Someone who tried very hard to make other people feel wanted and needed. And yeah, that's about it.
So to make people feel wanted, needed, and loved. So any final closing remarks? Like, I think this is a good place for us to to end. I appreciate you. But yeah, this is beautiful. Thank you.
Don't be afraid to go for the gusto, as they say.
Hmm.
Don't let people tell you what you cannot do. Um, and I had teachers who never recommended to me that maybe you can do this. Think about doing that. Think about this or that. But don't let people put you in a box and tell you what you cannot do.
Hmm.
Um, get out there, see what's available in the universe, and go for it.
Yeah.
No matter how small it might be or how big it might be, just go for it.
Well, Mr. Gite,
Yes, sir.
Lloyd Gite, young 74-year-old that still has a lot of life to live. Again, thank you for saying yes. Thank you for pouring your experience, your wisdom.
And thank you for the food, brother.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you like it.
I loved it.
Yeah, I'm glad you love it too. It was good. I ate some today. It was really good. So,
Yes, you did something to do.
I will be posting the recipe for that. The goal is to do a cookbook on that. So I want to feature all the dishes and stuff in the cookbook.
And you can do a book signing at the gallery because we
Absolutely.
do book signings there.
Yep. So the gallery, if you were in Houston or you plan on visiting Houston, you have to go by the Gite Gallery. It is on what's
2024 Alabama Street. That's East Alabama in the historic Third Ward neighborhood, 77004. We open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 to 6.
and it's beautiful. And if you're out of town, they have a website as well. It's called reconnecting.com. You can go on there. They usually have their latest art on there. And if there are pieces that you want or that,
We ship.
yeah. So they do ship to you. The framing is beautiful. That's another thing that makes the art
Yeah.
amazing. Like Lloyd is so good at framing art. Like I think that just takes it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Like
Framing can make or break a piece, and people need to understand that.
yeah.
The right framing is really important.
Yeah. And so he's phenomenal. But I encourage everybody, if you have the opportunity, even stop in and just say hi. You gotta meet Lloyd. He's one of our he's somebody that has been in this community, that has put his stake here and does a lot of really good things in the community. So you would be remiss in not doing yourself a service if you live in Houston and you have not gone by the Gite Gallery. So I'm telling you guys, go by there. And if you love art and you love my art, you should definitely go by there. They have Christmas in July as well, which a lot of stuff goes on sale.
And Christmas.
Yes, and Christmas. And so, but you don't want to wait. Like I would go by there soon because most pieces, there's only one. There's not.
The original pieces.
Yeah.
One of a kind.
Yeah. So you'll never see that piece again. That's another thing that I love because I'm like, nobody else has this. And I appreciate it. But they're also beautiful people, lovely people. If you're networking, if you're new to Houston and you're trying to find your way to Gite Galleries, so you get beautiful art, food, and community. So
And beautiful people.
yes, I encourage you to go.
Yep.
So any closing words, that's remarks?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you guys again for tuning in to the Kitchen Couch, where we're feeding the soul one conversation at a time. This is our special guest, Lloyd Gite, who is a phenomenal, we'll say artist. I see you as an artist. Yeah, I'm gonna say artist. Like he has a bunch of different titles, but I think overall he's an artist. Like artists bring things together, bring people together on that. So again, thank you guys. Love you. Thank you for tuning in.
Bye.